see as the biggest difference between what you guys put on the field against Michigan and then Notre Dame?
Physicality was honestly about the same, which I kind of felt that in the game. Like as you sit down there, you're evaluating it, and if you're giving up plays in a run game, you watch. Are we getting moved backwards as a line of scrimmage getting reset, or are we not doing a good enough job in gap control and assignments? And my sense was after the game, before I got to the presser and I had a chance to watch it all, that's what it was. And then watching it's exactly what it was. I mean, like the first run of the game, we got two guys completely out of position. It's a perfect call. It should be a dead play. It should be a 4-yard gain maybe. But against a good team with two phenomenal running backs, you give them a couple of gimmies on top of, hey, it's just going to be a real challenge and battle the entire game, and that's where the run defense, was, and those were our biggest struggles throughout the game. It was really assignment based. We didn't play nearly as in sync as we did the previous week. Physicality, effort, and all that was about the same. It was a physical battle. They won some reps, we won some reps. There was a lot of just stalemates right there at the line, which when you have two good groups going at it, that's what you see. But we've got to play cleaner. It's great. We were motivated and ready to play, but those games, you got to combine that with playing just really good ball, like at the end of the day, and being really in sync. And so obviously we're going to dedicate a lot of time to working on that here in the bye week. And here in these last several opportunities, that's got to be at its very best.
The Notre Dame loss meant you guys were 0-6 against top 25 teams on the road since you've taken over as coach. Do you feel, is there a through line that you can sense at all through any of those losses or difficulties that you guys have had against good teams?
Yeah, we've put ourselves in position to win a lot of these games. Obviously, you've got to go win them. I get it. That's in your ascent as a program, that's one of the last steps, because it's the hardest thing to do, to go on the road and win against really good football teams in college football forever and ever. You see it every single week. It's always a challenge. So, we're putting ourselves constantly in that position, and that's a great start, but obviously the expectation is to go win them, and we've obviously got some other great opportunities coming up, another big one here coming up after the bye week.
How did you feel about the offensive line's performance just in general, and are you hopeful that you'll have Elijah and Gillian back after the bye?
We are hopeful. Yeah, we are hopeful. They're making some real progress, starting to get a lot closer. I think it's more realistic now. I wouldn't say we're for sure there, but it's definitely more realistic than what it's been here the last several weeks. Yeah, we battled. I thought honestly we pass protected pretty well. Considering the challenge that was, and I thought by and large Jaden had a lot of time to do what he needed to do. We weren't quite as clean in the run game as we were against Michigan. We missed some opportunities. We had a lot of plays in the run game where 4 guys were really good and 1 guy got beat or missed an assignment, and it made us pay, because the number of just kind of agonizingly close runs were tough to watch that night on the plane ride home, and that's kind of what we sensed during the game. So. Did a lot of good things, but got to play better. Obviously got some big challenges upcoming.
We'll talk about the missed assignments here in the second part of the season. Why do you think that's still coming up?
Well, you get challenged every week, especially defensively is a different challenge. People are going to formate different. They're going to block runs different. They're going to give you different motion shifts, and that's where you've just got to stay really locked into your assignment. And I felt like what happened a little bit the other night was we give up the first one, which was total assignment based. And then all of a sudden, you saw a couple of guys I felt like that started trying too hard to make a play or cover up for a mistake when a couple things didn't go our way, and that's when you've just got to trust it the most. And it's easy to sit here in a press conference and say that when you're in the middle of competition like it's tougher to do. And so it was a great learning experience for our guys to put that up there, because I've been a part of wins or losses, where like a team wasn't like as ready to play as they needed to be or as physical as they needed to be, and you got to go address that. But when you're as emotionally ready as we were to play that game, because this team was emotionally ready to play that game, but the execution and working together costs you. It's a tremendous teacher, and so we're going to get a lot of opportunities, kind of like I said in the press conference. This team is in position to do some really cool things right now, but we've got to close that gap, and we've got to close it this week, and we've got to be a team that learns from the loss, that learns from the pain, and if we use that, we can close that gap and again be a pretty tough team to beat.
In that sense, how have you seen the team respond so far?
Yeah, they've been good. We had a really good practice here. I think they were watching it, I think they saw exactly kind of what we talked to them about after the game and what we talked about in the team meeting yesterday. And they came out here ready to work and own the things that got to be better. And I think they're disappointed, but I think they also see, a gap that they know that they can close. And it's just you got to come out here and get your elbows dirty and go to work.
Coach, you mentioned the physicality on defense is going to be one point of interest you're going to work on during the bye week. But when you look at the team as a whole, what's one goal you hope to achieve?
I think we've played pretty physical ball. I mean, I think the big deal for us is cleaning up our game where we just simply play better. I mean, I think we played about our C game the other night, and I told the guys that. That's about our C game. Now, we had a chance to win because of the mentality and just I think the mindset of the team gave us a chance to win despite all of our mistakes. So, if we can carry that same mentality and edge that we have these last couple of weeks, and we can clean up some of these areas in terms of our execution and fundamentals, that's typically a pretty good combination in college football.
What have you seen from Jaden Walker the last couple games, and can he continue to carve out a bigger role?
For sure he can. No, he's been, I think, one of our most impactful players. He plays violent. He takes on blocks. He plays without hesitation, and he's just getting better kind of week by week. You could tell, there's part of you that can tell that he missed some of the time that he did coming in here, being injured when he came in as a freshman and linebacker being new to him. But it feels like he just takes steps every single week, and his confidence is rising. And I think our confidence in him, the teammates around him, is going. So absolutely, he can continue to earn a bigger role on our team and on our defense.
Coach, not sure how far into the film you guys are yet, but when preparing for Nebraska, what lessons can you guys take from Minnesota, who just beat them by 3 scores?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to study every opponent and every team that somebody's played. Every game plays out differently. So yeah, I mean, like this and the matchups, all that are going to be different. But sure, we'll pay attention to that. The games they've won, the games they've lost. They're going to continue to evolve like other teams are, and obviously, be a fun challenge for us going and playing at their place and the tremendous home field advantage that they've always had there. So, we'll study it, get our team prepared, and get ready to go. But right now, it's more of a focus on cleaning us up and our execution.
You've been calling plays for a while now as a coach. What do you feel like, maybe even early on, was maybe the most important lesson you learned about calling plays, the art of that?
You can't be scared. You got to call, what you believe is best in the moment, not what, fans think or announcers think or anybody else. You got to trust, your preparation, your guys, your coaches. And I think a lot of times fear inhibits people when they're calling plays of what might happen. And I was fortunate to grow up, around some guys that called games with absolutely zero fear, and I got a feel of that. Now there's a difference between, not having fear and not making dumb calls. And obviously you try to avoid as many of those as you can in the moment. But that's something I've always hung to. Is I've never called plays other than anything to try to help the team win, and to be aggressive and not worry about anything else that comes along with it. And I think that's helped me throughout my career and something I've strived to continue to get better at this day.